Hi Aquarius, my sun sign brothers and sisters. Welcome to your February 2024 Astro Tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign, but if you're only going to watch one, remember to watch for your ascendant or your rising sign. They're the same thing. It's going to be the most accurate for you on that day-to-day level. With that said, remember they're general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. And I just want to say, if you are one of us, happy damn birthday to you, my fellow Aquarians. I truly hope you have a wonderful solar return, and I really hope that you fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of everything that you want this entire year ahead to have in it for you. Spoil yourself and allow the people in your life and your world to spoil you in return, okay? With that said, I love you to pieces, and let's get straight into your reading. And if you would like to book your personal Astro Tarot with me for your B-Day, baby, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Now, with all of that out of the way, oh my goodness, this is it, right? Like, it's power time, right? Look, I'm gonna put in some preface. So with everything that I'm about to say, this is for February 2024, but I want you to think back. On January 21st, Pluto came back into the sign of Aquarius, but cast your mind further back than that and think about March 7th of 2023. Pluto came into Aquarius for, I think it was about 2 months-ish, maybe a little bit longer. And, right, we had a taster. Personally, I fucking loved it, right? Everyone's been like, oh, you know, Pluto and Aquarius and oh, doom and gloom. Oh my gosh, if it's 20 years of that, sign me the fuck up, because I'm in for it, right? If it's that, which it probably won't be all of that, but you know, one can hope. Now, that being said, you've had a taster. You're going to get a much longer taster now, right the way through to September 8th. Then it's going to come back into Capricorn at the final degree of Capricorn yet again. Whoop-de-frickin-do. I've not enjoyed that one, trust me. But then after that, or for not even 2 months, right? And then after that, on November 20th, it comes back into the sign of Pluto. And it will be there for literally the next 20 years. Sorry, I want to get that to focus, because it's out of focus, which means you won't be able to see it. Come on, screen. There we go. All right, so this is a pretty big deal. And Pluto is power, control. It is the depths of things. It reveals, wherever Pluto goes, it pulls everything up right down to the very end of what is there, and it dredges everything up to reveal the pure potential. This is an energy of regeneration, rebirth. In order to go through the rebirth and the regeneration, though, there has to be a destruction, right? So I want you to think about this in that way. This is the energy of being completely destroyed in some way so that you can be built back that much more powerful, that much stronger. And all of this that I'm talking about today, about one transit, is happening in your first house. Now, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius last year, it was like two-ish and a plus months, right? It's now, it never hit any of the personal planets. Now, Mercury, Venus and Mars are all coming into conjunctions with Aquarius at 0 degrees. Cast your mind way back to 2020, December 21st, I think it was the summer solstice, where Saturn and Jupiter came into the Great Conjunction at 0 degrees of Aquarius, kicking off a 200-year cycle. So all of these activations now that happen at 0 degrees, this is big stuff, Aquarius, right? This is huge for all of us. For those of you that are ascendant Aquarians, this will be really impactful. To a lesser degree, the sun. To a lesser degree than that, the moon. But all of you, wherever your Aquarius sits, you are going to feel this right now. You are getting rebirthed, renewed, my fellow Aquarians, but this comes with a certain amount of destruction, as I said, right? When you're upgrading a house, think about all of the destruction and the mess and you got to pull it all apart first, right? And then you get to build it all up. Now, this is on the 5th of February. Mercury, the Lord of haste, speed, communication, conversation, skill sets, money, the flow of money, the transaction of money. Mercury for you rules your 5th house, which is occupied by Gemini, and it also rules your 8th house, which is occupied by Virgo. 8th house, other people's money. 5th house, joy, pleasure, romance, creativity. This is Mercury ruling that 5th house of romance and pleasure, and also your children. Ideas, right? Even gambles that you might take is the 5th house, and Mercury also rules that 8th house of other people's money. Since Mercury rules money and transactions in general, this is a consideration about the give and take, and it will see you having really deep communications, Mercury, right? It will see you having deep conversations about what you will and won't give, and what you will and won't take anymore. What you will and won't accept anymore is being highlighted in a really powerful way. This is conversations about you, about your future, and also about some of your personal fears, right? And the reason, and maybe even your money-making ideas. Why? Because Pluto, as the modern ruler of Scorpio, rules your 10th house, which is occupied by Scorpio. So there's a future-orientated, not so much a future-orientated, but definitely a personal sphere sort of relation to this as well. I do wonder if as well this is you finding a way to release fears that are stopping you from growing or expanding, but it will be with like a trusted confidant, maybe even with a therapist, because it's Mercury, so talking. 8th house literally represents like crisis, trauma, your deep fears, all of that stuff, but it also represents the transformation and healing that comes through those things. So this could be you going to therapy, right? Maybe you're really talking about something to get to the bottom of the root cause of an issue, so that you can really find a sense of freedom and clarity for yourself. This is a time to really reconnect with who you are. The other thing that's worth mentioning as well is Mercury is exalted in the sign of Aquarius. In modern astrology, Mercury exalts in the sign of Aquarius. So this is a time to decide what you want and who you are now. Right? It's not that you're getting rid of the past. You'll always have it with you, but you're letting that go and you're going after your future. And it's like you're not accepting anything that isn't that. For this, you've got the High Priestess, right? So Pluto is power, secrets, control. There's definitely something coming to light here. With the High Priestess, you got this with the Knight of Swords, something that potentially will see you getting your heckles up, but it could also, look, you got this with the Three of Cups. This could be something that a friend says to you or shares with you that maybe makes you see things in a really different perspective. It could also be a confidant, as I said. For some of you, this could be a reunion, but this would be one that you are traveling for, because it's the Knight of Swords. It tends to be like a commute. So this could be, maybe you're going to see an old friend that lives in your hometown, maybe you're going to visit someone, and through that conversation and interaction, maybe you share something with them that maybe you haven't wanted to, or haven't for a long time or whatever. Maybe you haven't ever spoken about it, and it's like through doing that you find this really cathartic moment that releases you and enables you to see something in a different perspective. And it will be with somebody that you consider a friend, or maybe somebody that you reconnect with. Now, the other thing with that Knight of Swords, it can represent what we would call oh gosh, what's the word that I'm looking for? It can represent fast or aggressive communication. Mercury conjunct Pluto. There's no getting around the fact that some of these conversations are likely to be a little bit intense. All right, so just keep that as a consideration. It could also be, though, that a conversation, or rather a secret of some sort, comes to light. Now, on the 13th of the month, if ever I don't mention the date of the transit or the degree of the transit, please check the link, please check the description box, because I write all of that extra information there. When I'm doing this and I'm in flow, I'm not worried about dates and, points and stuff. I'm just going with the information that flows and following, I write out a set amount of notes, but then the rest of it I allow to just kind of come through. And obviously tarot, you can't plan for that, right? What you get is what you get. It's one of the things that I love about it. Now, Sorry, see, that's distracted me. This is why I tend to write that stuff in the description. Now, on the 13th of the month, Mars is coming into a conjunction with Pluto. This is intense. It's explosive. There's no getting around this, right? If Pluto is power in general, right, and the big power that we're not in control of, Mars is your personal power. Mars for you rules your third house of communications, conversations, interactions, the things that you say and do. It also rules your skill set. It also rules your day-to-day habits, your grind. It also rules your siblings. So really powerful stuff. Mars also is the ancient ruler of Scorpio, which rules you, which is occupied in your 10th house. So you've got a double hit of this 10th house energy in your first house. Whatever is happening here, something could be very public or very much on the wider world stage, you know, something about you. Now, Mars being your third house ruler and your 10th house, it means that your career and your skill set, which is Mercury stuff as well, because it's third house stuff, right? This is your skill set might be a source of intensity. So you might start doing some really deep up leveling or upgrading of your career or your skill set. Maybe you know, you are starting to think about how you can offer different ideas or different services, different packages. Maybe you want to start doing something different with your work. This could also show up as a power struggle in or around the career in some way, shape or form, around your status. If you're married, this could be around that. If you own a business, it could be around that. Things could reach a bit of a boiling point here, right? There's no getting around it. It's a big combination. This is happening in your sign. You are Aquarius. You are the fixed air sign, right? Which means you are refusing to back down from an idea or even an intellectual property that you own in some regard. And if that is the case, you do you, honey. Go for it, right? Own it. Own every single moment of it. For this, you've got the Seven of Wands, so that's you fighting for something, right? You've got this with the Sun card, that's you winning, right? That is you winning outright. And then you've got the World card, right? Look at this. Not only are you winning, but the world or your communities are supporting you in this win. So I'm totally here for this. I love this. I'm over the moon, because I know what this is for me. As I'm watching this, I already know how this is going to show up in my own life, if it is that. And the fact that we've got the Sun card and the World card or the universe in this deck. So look, right, the Sun, the universe, that really just puts me at so much ease, because I'm like, yeah, you know what, it's all right. Whatever happens, no matter what the battle, I know I come out on top. All right, on the third transit that I would like to look at for us is on the 22nd of March. So all of this, by the way, is happening at 0 degrees, right? So on the 3rd of the month, this transit, however, doesn't happen at 0 degrees, but it could still technically be considered a conjunction because Pluto is such a power player. This happens at 7 degrees of Aquarius. Mars and his celestial lover Venus come into a connection. Venus coming into this space, she's bringing a soothing balm. Venus for you rules your home, family, property, real estate, and that's occupied. Your 4th house is occupied by Taurus. She also rules your 9th house, which is occupied by Libra, because Venus rules both of those signs, right? She's bringing a soothing, healing, cleansing balm. Venus for you, it means in a sense, there's a chance that family or even mentors, coaches, gurus, etc. are really supporting you in some way. It might also mean that it's like you're starting to understand the depth of your ability to affect change in the world and in your own life. And it's like the way that you realize this is because the 9th house is also your beliefs and your belief structure. You're looking at this and thinking, right, okay, you know what? I need to get my mind right because I'm creating a lot of this. You could come into the realization of how powerful your energy is at the moment. And with Pluto in your sign, the power is with you. The power is in your hands. So everything that's magnified here, a lot of it is coming from you. You become, by default, whether you've been able to manifest in the past or not, you become a master manifester when Pluto comes into your sign because it's very magnetic. So it will draw to you whatever it is that you desire. Now, the caveat around that is Your ninth house here is being activated. That's your belief structure. Pluto goes right to the depths of everything that it touches. So if you've got a whole bunch of shit showing up in your life right now and you're like, I don't want this, why is this happening? It's happening because you're creating it, because of your belief structure, because of your subconscious, the patterns, all of the shit in the background that you've never really fully worked through or out or let go of or released. It's showing up like this is your internal sewage showing up on the wider world stage. That's Pluto saying to you, you are manifesting all of this. Get your mind right, get your spirit right, get your energy right, get all of your self out of the gutter. Right, it's time to clean up all of these internal spaces, because otherwise you're going to keep getting the same results that you've got. Is that what you want? If it is, continue, right? If not, you know what I'm talking about. Now, there is a chance here as well, because the fourth house is indicated through Taurus, right? And obviously you've got Mars, which is indicating the third house and the 10th house. And that fourth house, 10th house axis is being lit up now. There's a chance that this could be a legal matter to do with a home or a property. Also possible that something very personal to you, something that you believe in, is coming up for consideration here, right? Are you considering an international move? Some of you might be. What does it look like on the ground? Have you got everything in place for a trip or a journey that makes sense to you, especially for your long term? Like, you know, when it comes to home, property, where you live, like, is all of that settled? If not, this is your time to really correct it. And also, because Venus is here, this could bring the support that you need, right? Like, I actually like this Venus conjunction with Mars, because it's like she comes in and says, listen, you cool the fire, right? She says to Mars. And then she looks over at Pluto and says, oh, you, right? Calm your intensity. Venus is the harmonizing essence, right? She's harmonizing. She brings the soothing balm. She brings down that intensity. She makes us more diplomatic because she's in your sign. She makes you more beautiful, more attractive, as if you need any of that, darling. And then because Pluto's involved as well, you're that much more magnetic. If you're getting results that you don't want, though, remember, your stuff is what's causing this, right? That's a really important point. For this, we've got the Three of Wands. Expand your vision, right? Expand your vision. You've got the Five of Pentacles. So if there's something that you fear losing, you're going to manifest that if you keep focusing on it. This isn't spiritual bypassing. It's not ignoring the hard stuff and burying your head in the sand. No, not at all. What it is making sure that the signal, the emission of energy that you are putting out into the world is for your highest vibrational good, rather than, oh, you know, if this goes bad, I bet this goes bad. That's you manifesting. Right? Whether you know this or not, whether you believe that or not, that is the truth of it. Your subconscious patterning, how you talk to yourself, the energy that you produce is manifesting, right? And you got to get busy learning how to use this shit now, because you got it for the next 20 years. Okay. All right. So, and then finally, we've got the Ace of Wands. Whatever dip you experience as a result of this transit, you will realize very quickly that there is a way out. The thing with the Ace of Wands and the Five of Pentacles that can be a challenge. This could be where you are throwing your own power away for the sake of what's easy or pleasurable in the moment. No judgment, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade, as Mama Ru says. But I'm just going to tell you, it's on you, Aquarius, right? The power is in your hands now. What are you going to do with it? So, I did the cards for that, didn't I? Yes. On the 28th of the month, we have Saturn is already in Pisces, comes into a conjunction with Mercury and also with the Sun. All of this at 10 degrees of Pisces. This is in your second house of money, finances and resources. Your money is getting a big boost, right? Your relationships, your relationships. So Mercury for you rules your fifth house of pleasure, joy, romance. It also rules your fun, your creativity, but the fifth house is also sex, sensuality, all of those things, right? It also rules your eighth house, which is also sex, taboo, the stuff that we don't, our boudoir, the stuff that we don't really talk about. You've got the Sun, which rules your 7th house of relationships. This can be personal, professional, platonic, or familial. And then you've got Saturn, which is your 12th house ruler and rules also you. Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius. All of this in your 2nd house. This is about the money that you require in order to make a specific move. And I actually think that this is a rare window of opportunity where you get to break down a barrier of some sort. Now, because you've got Saturn in the 2nd house, that's not an easy transit. It tends to limit how much money we can make, how much money we can draw to ourselves. But the beauty of this is Saturn in the 2nd teaches you to survive on less, and it makes you work that much harder for your money, so that by the time it's finished that transit, you're usually earning way more money and able to survive on less, right? So this is actually, in the long run, it's a wonderful transit. In the immediate, it feels like shit, okay? Just going to tell you straight up. But this combination, because it's the Sun and because it's Mercury, there's a chance to break down a barrier, Saturn, break down the Sun or shine light into or onto, but it won't be easy. It will require a lot of self-honesty. It might also require a few people that you can really trust. If you want this idea or this opportunity to go far, then it's going to require that you build a team, right? Which means you're going to have to start working on your stuff around friendships and heartaches and around trust. It's time, Aquarius, right? It's bin time. For this, we've got the Emperor. You can build on your own. There's an old African proverb. We've all seen the meme floating around the thing. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go with others. That Emperor card, an emperor is only an emperor if they have a kingdom to rule, right? And this isn't about you stepping into this lofty king sort of role. What it is, it's about really commanding your environment and understanding that the leadership is about to settle on your head. You've got the Death card here. So Death card is usually endings, completions, culminations, but you've got it with the Emperor. The Emperor is number 4. Death card is 13. 1 and 3 gives you 4. You've got 2 4s here. 2 4 can represent insomnia. If you're not getting any good quality rest, how do you expect to lead by example? You've got this with the Emperor, which means that some kind of work consideration, or maybe even potentially some old idea is something that's being released now. And then you've got this with the 9 of Swords. You've got to get out of that worry energy, Aquarius. Now, one thing that I will say to you, there is a deeper message in here, and I hope I'm wrong, but the Death card could be an actual death. Next to the Emperor, this would usually be a boss, a father, touch wood, it could also be a husband. It's usually the most important man in your life. But because you've got this with the 9 of Swords, this could be where you are effectively shooting yourself in the foot to say, well, that's probably not going to work. So it's like you convince yourself out of even trying for something before you've even, it's like, oh, well, there's probably going to be this problem, and there's probably going to be that problem, and It's like you talk yourself out of taking that top spot before you've even started or tried for it. What a shame that would be. Okay, on the 9th of February, we will have the annual Aquarius new moon in our sign. So this is our new moon of the year, right? This is a fresh start for you, your life path, where it is that you consider yourself be going. It could be new in relationships. It could also be to do with your work or your daily habits, routines, or even your physical health and vitality, right? All of the above. Now, your new moon message, okay, that one seems to want out, is the Gate 27 and caring. And the message behind this card, you see the little robin? I have a friend who knows this as well, and I hope she's watching. If you are, Kat, this is a shout out to you. This card it's an omen to say that there are good things on the horizon. And I'll tell you the story behind this. I've told it before. I don't know if it was this sign though, so I'm going to tell it again. Every time I have been waiting for news on something and I've been praying for good news or whatever, and I've seen a robin, because that's what this bird is, it's a little robin. Every time I've seen a robin, when I've been waiting for a decision or to hear back from something or whatever the case might be, every time I see the robin before I get the message, I know that it's a good thing. I know that I get the yes, I know I've got the green light, I know I've got the go ahead. every single time without fail, right? And I know she knows this as well. She's also a fellow Aquarius. So that's really, really interesting to me. So this new moon, it suggests that this is a good new moon for us. There's going to be some really wonderful stuff that comes out of it, I think. This is, remember, it's a fresh start. And you'll have the corresponding full moon to this in August this year. On the 24th of February, we will have the annual Virgo full moon. And this will be in your 8th house. Other people's money, sex, the death, taboos, loans, taxes, mortgages, inheritances. But the 8th house is really a house of transformation. You've got a lot of transformational energy going on for you at this moment in time, which you are more than aware of, right? This full moon is really going to show you how that happens, right? It's highlighting what some old trauma, crisis, challenge or issue is, and it's showing you this so that you can transcend it. It's showing you in stark daylight, this is what's standing in your way. This is how you're going to make money from or through other people from here on in. So pay attention to this full moon. With this, you've got the gate 48 and depth. I mean, like, literally, what else could I tell you, right? This full moon is going to be deep because it's in one of the deepest spaces of your chart, but it's also going to help you reveal the new or the hidden potential within yourself that you didn't realize you had, or that has been overshadowed by some challenge or conflict from your past in your life. With that said, if you would like to get your own Astro Tarot scope with me, if you want to have a session with me, you can get that on the link in the description box below. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Happy damn birthday. Take care, and I'll see you soon.